Yeah.
Exactly. What?
Once again, you know, last year in this spot, I was sort of Rookie of the Year. So we'll see if I live up to my early promise. I'd like to thank all of you for coming. It means a lot to me that you came out to hear the poetry tonight. And I'd like to thank the Friends of the Library and my dear husband, and of course Jack, who knows that we need to be heard. Tonight I'm going to read you 11 poems. They are poems that I have created especially for you, and I'm going to read you them and an introduction. This series of poems is called Poems for Poets: Commiseration, Appreciation, and Advice. And I'll read you my introduction. When I lost my job in the construction company, I felt weak and humiliated. I wondered what I might do to restore my dignity and make enough money to occasionally add a little meat to the pot of beans on the stove. I thought I might be able to help people write. I'd always written and hung out with writers. I taught English to non-native speakers, and I'd done some translating, everything from business letters to poetry to movie scripts. I'd always been sort of an academic gadabout, studying languages and literature in half a dozen different colleges, taking courses and going to seminars and lectures. I'd been in a few writing groups, and so I thought I knew how to run one. I called some women I knew were interested in writing and literature, and I cobbled together a group. The participants agreed to give me a modest sum to facilitate our sessions and give them advice. This, of course, turned out to be a great deal of fun. My original group has been meeting for about a year now, and due to popular demand, I've started a second group on a different day of the week in a different location. What I had suspected from the beginning turned out to be true. This is the deal. Almost everyone writing improves with practice. And the real trick is to convince people to be honest in their work and to take themselves seriously. That's what I've tried to do, and it's worked out pretty well. Naturally, all of this reading and listening, writing, and thinking about writing has led me to speculation about the meaning of it all. What does it mean to put words on paper? What is the writer's place in the community? How can writers help each other? The poems collected here are the result of all my pondering. I hope you like them. Perseverance matters. In matters of perseverance, perseverance matters. Be prepared to suffer the consequences of starting or stopping the making of literature. You start. Your life becomes chaotic. You're young. It doesn't matter. But your first marriage probably ends badly. You stop. Things calm down. You're lonely. You get used to it. And anyway, you still have your looks. One day, passing the time reading, you come across an apt metaphor or a well-shaped sentence. You think, I wonder if I could do that. You start. Sometimes you can do it and sometimes you can't. You think, I need to talk to some other writers. You find them. You talk to them. It's very pleasant. But they don't know any more than you do. They say, that's very good. Persevere. You think, yeah, I knew that. You stop. But now you've lost your looks. If you don't write, what good are you? You start. Now you know the apt metaphor won't always elude you. Now you know nobody cares but you. Now you know perseverance is its own reward. It matters. The end is in the beginning. Write the first line. See where it gets you. Remember the time your mother called your father a cad? Wasn't her choice of words interesting? Forget about that. Think of fresh images. Was there a pot of soup boiling on the stove? Was there a dictionary sitting on the hall table? Mention a fur hat with ear flaps in the middle of the poem. Fur, pubic hair, flaps, genitals, mother, father, fucking, fighting. They'll be deconstructing it for years. They'll say you're clever and courageous. Forget about that. Try to be more subtle. Consider the last line. You want to sum things up. Remember the applause from your last poetry reading? Wasn't your choice of words interesting? When it rains, we all get wet. There was thunder and lightning, and then the wind blew hard. It took the roof right off the house, and the water poured in. It swirled around our ankles. Soon it came up to our very knees. When it was waist deep, we built a raft out of couch cushions. Who knew they could float? We paddled around the town and admired our neighbors' makeshift boats, which were filled with their possessions. Look, Old Man Jones is riding his piano. Mrs. Livingston is carrying her father's umbrella. Little Susie is learning the breaststroke. Get back in the boat, Susie. We paddled day in and day out, and then we paddled some more, but we never reached the shore. There was no shore. It was raining all over the world. To make things happen. This is why you write, to make things happen. To make things that have happened to not have happened. To make bad things happen to bad people and good things happen to good people. To make people. To make people you love to love and people you love to hate. To make people do things you wouldn't do and say things you wouldn't say. To make people say things you would say if only you had the guts. To develop the guts to say new things. This is why you write. Talking to the French dresser, a one-sided conversation. Your finish is not original. Dresser, discard the useless. Give up worn underwear and ragged sweaters. Give up grease-stained t-shirts. Your mirror is cracked. Dresser, answer me in French. Do you wear a beret and smoke Gaulois? Do you eat snails in garlic? No wonder you smell funny. Your knobs don't match. Dresser, give me my money. Is it in the sock drawer or under the silk scarves? Is it hidden in a glove? Your legs are scratched. Dresser, have some Beaujolais. Drink some cognac or a tumbler of Calvados. Drink some eau mineral. No wonder you're always drunk. Your drawers don't slide. Dresser, lose the attitude. Get rid of that pout and wear a smile. Get rid of the dark cloud. Your finish is not original. Dresser, tell me something. Do you hate the Italian table and the Oriental rug? Do you envy the Chinese face? No wonder you're unhappy. Dresser, you can be replaced. This next poem requires a little bit of explanation. I want to assure all of you, I know nothing about Neely's financial situation.
Neither does he.
Well, this poem is dedicated to Neely, and so I wanted to make that clear. I wrote it because I wanted to please him by writing something with birds in it. And I thought that, anyway, this, for Neely or for any poet, this is very good advice. I also would like to say that some of my writing friends helped me quite a bit with this poem, so I put their name on it also, and they are Marie Dern and Mary Priest, Julia Hawkins, and Morley Clark. So, turn your financial statement into a bird, for Neely Tchaikovsky. When you think of your pitiful savings, big vultures come to mind, don't they? It's easy to picture them feasting on bloody piles of carrion. But don't be morbid. A snow goose is perfectly white, save a few black patches for emphasis. Isn't that just like the paper your own sparse numbers are printed on? It's so easy to think of those geese honking and flapping their wings like a perfect metaphor for your money on its way south. Oh, try to be more optimistic. You could make an origami crane out of a page from your check register, but merely folding paper, well, that's not at all literary. A bald eagle used to be pictured on the United States postage stamp. How does that compare with the size of your bankroll? You didn't see this coming? Don't tell me you didn't see the dead canary in the mine shaft, the turkey gobble, gobble, gobbling your dough. Maybe an owl was asking, who took my money? Were we sitting ducks? Were we chicken shit? Were we cuckoo to think we could get ahead? Listen, don't listen to the mockingbird. Your money was nothing to crow about. Turn your financial statement into a bird and let it fly away. Mother tongue. I remember sitting in a playpen wondering what the sounds my mother made meant. I imagined everything in the world had its own word. A couple of years later, I used a blue crayon to copy letters from the cover of a cheap tablet. Mother said, learn this first. When you go to school, this is how you start. The most important thing I learned in first grade was that D-O-G referred to all dogs, not just Spot. And that revelation was quickly followed by another. The group of letters used to describe the woman in the picture I supposed was Dick and Jane's mother could be also used to describe my mother. My head filled with light. I thought I would know enough words, what they meant, and how to spell them to write a good story about my mother by 3rd or 4th grade. I was wrong. Where should poets live? Don't even dream of Paris. This is not the 20s. And New York, Harlem Renaissance, forget it. Iowa City, well, there are lots of poets there, but most of them are younger than you are. Don't go there. I'd heard Berlin was the Paris of the 90s. What decade is this? How about Amsterdam? But don't fall into smoking dope. You'll never finish anything. San Francisco is a very good place for poets, but you'll need a lot of that do-re-mi. Istanbul, Atlanta, Boston, or Tampa. Maybe you'd better just start where you are.
Nice.
Anthropomorphize parts of your body and then talk to them. Come on, you're a poet. You can do it. Why don't you start from the ground up? Here are some ideas you can crib. Oh, feet, you little longshoremen, carry the weight. And legs, my legs, dear twin delivery men, leave the package on the doorstep. Belly, belly, you lusty lady, you deny yourself nothing. Well, I think you get it. You make breasts into milkmaids, shoulders into Lonely Hearts colonists. Arms could be nurses, and the neck of a bureaucrat supporting the whole brain trust of the head. Now you try it. A nautical parable. If you sail into any port in the world, no matter how exotic or remote, no matter the time of day or night, when you approach a landing, someone will appear to take a line you toss and secure it to the dock. I swear to you this is true. And if you wait on any pier in any port, no matter how long the time, no matter how bad the weather, a sailboat will come alongside. Someone will need you to catch a line and secure it to the deck. This is also true. And this is the final poem. I was trying to write a poem that would encompass the whole world. I was trying to write a woman's story. I wanted to bring in the sand and the sea. I wanted to describe the colors a fish takes on as it's lying, dying on the deck of the sailboat. I was trying to remember everything I'd ever known in my whole life. I was trying to stay between the lines. I wanted to use up the ink in every pen. I wanted to build a house out of the yellow pencils sitting, waiting in the desk near the window. I was worried. I was blue. I had a lot on my mind. I was in prison. I was free. I was illiterate. I could read. I was trying to imitate the way it feels to fall in love for the first time forever. I was trying to make words jump for joy. I wanted to scribble on every scrap of paper. I wanted to make a salad out of all of the green vegetables living, growing in the dirt behind the fence. I was trying to recall the full names of every single person I'd ever met. I was trying to spell each word correctly. I wanted to win every conceivable prize. I wanted to reveal the sources of all of the brown rivers ebbing, flowing near every dot on the map. I was attempting to attempt something. I was trying to share the burden. I was trying to sop up all the gravy. I wanted to make the universe mine. I was trying to write a poem.